gets hungry for dinner at 8. She loves the theater and never comes late. She never bothers with people she hates. That's why the lady is a tramp.
My friends, let me tell you about a very special place that I was referred to called These Guys Brewing Company, located at 78 Franklin Street in Norwich, Connecticut. Founded in 2015 by two of the most gracious hosts I have ever encountered in the restaurant business, Ray and Rebecca Alberts, alongside General Manager Carly St. Martin, takes every necessary step to make sure that your experience at These Guys Brewing is always an exceptional one. They are an independent brew pub with a selection of handcrafted beers to satisfy all. As a matter of fact, they are currently finishing construction on a larger brewery to handle the demand. Located close to the center of Norwich, only 10 minutes from the casinos, their menu is spectacular, and they also have nightly themes such as Burger and Brew Tuesdays, Trivia Wednesdays, and Buckashuck Thursdays. They also offer brunch on Sundays from 10:30 to 1, and every fourth Thursday of the month offers a special pairing dinner. I will be doing a live podcast from These Guys Brewing Company on June 20th. That's a Thursday night from 5 to 7 p.m. Why don't you come down and say hello to Ray, Rebecca, and Carly and your old pal, Double T? You can walk away with a nice door prize courtesy of These Guys Brewing. So remember, the live podcast is on June 20th, but that doesn't mean you have to wait. Go down to These Guys Brewing, located at 78 Franklin Street in Norwich, Connecticut. Folks, trust me, this is a place that you want to be. Hello, everybody. This is Double T. Welcoming everybody into the Double T Podcast Network. Wishing everybody a happy Memorial Day. Folks, today we have a special guest with us, Velle Johnson, host of the brand new Velle's N0w podcast. How you doing, Velle?
I'm good, Double T. How you doing today?
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you.
Let me explain to you a little bit about Velle's podcast. Velle's taking subjects of all different varieties, and he's talking about how they were then to how they've evolved to now. And we're going to talk about today is the entertainment industry. So, Velle, why don't you kick us off?
All right, Double T. I want to talk about today, especially with the recent news about the entertainment industry with P. Diddy Combs, bad boy rap mogul, who has recently been highlighted in the music industry for a couple allegations leading into abuse of his artist, girlfriend, sexual allegations, a lot of heinous things, which I want to talk about because it makes me kind of think and wonder of the allegations that are going on now that are being recently exposed because his girlfriend just got paid, I believe, $3 million, some $1 million to keep quiet about the issue that was, he said it was going on for years. And this makes me think about the artists who are making this music that we hear, that we like so much, that we listen to every day, that we sing, remember the words to, and actually, hold emotions to. What actually goes behind the music that's being made? And if that's the case, has this been going on for the whole time that we've been listening to music all our lives?
Well, you bring up a good point, Velle. And, you're talking about the end of it. So let's go back to the beginning of it. Music's always been a dirty business. from what I understand and what I've read about and researched in my lifetime, music's always been a dirty business for as long as I can remember.
How dir-
Sorry.
how dirty of business would you say would it be?
There's been thievery and debauchery going on for a long time with shady producers and shady record company owners stealing artists' rights, whereas an artist would have a string of big hits and not own one of them and make peanuts compared to what their record company or their producer or manager was making. Listen, every kid's dream is to become a rock star. So the minute you come within a whiff of writing a hit, some shyster's going to sign you to a record deal, and you're going to sign anything that they put in front of you and not read the fine print because you got a record deal finally. And what that record deal says probably is that he owns you, and he owns 90% of everything that you do, and merchandising and album sales and tour receipts. I mean, guys, you can read back, guys have been taken through the mill by shady guys in the past.
That's a lot of dealing going on, a lot of bad dealing.
A lot of bad dealing going on. So how did Diddy get his start?
And a lot of money being generated behind them scenes, behind that bad dealing.
Exactly. So how did Diddy get his start?
We contributor? We started?
How did P. Diddy get his start?
He had got his start from N0w, L.A. Reid. L.A. Reid had a record label that he signed him to. But it goes back to Clive Davis. Clive Davis hired L.A. Reid.
And I tell you what, I've heard stories about Clive Davis.
There we go. See the then.
Listen, record executives and owners and these guys who have these record companies, they got tons of money. I mean, numbers that you and I can't fathom, and they are the ones that are the creepiest people on the planet, and they do the most evil things to the most innocent people.
Let me ask you something, Double T. So say if, okay, the person who owns the record company or the record label, right? Let's not even say a record label. Let's take it to a different perspective. But say someone owns that business, right? That produces some type of product that invites a customer that makes a customer wants to buy, help perpetuate the finances of the company. Do we contribute to the evilness that goes on?
Unknowingly, yes.
Mm.
Where do you think the money comes from? The money comes from record sales, concert ticket sales, merchandising sales. It all comes from us.
So we're pretty much contributing to the pain of the artist, or contributing to the prison that the artist is entrapped.
We're unknowingly complicit.
But unknowingly, but if the artist comes out and says, "Hey, they're abusing me over here at my record company. Stop buying my record to support the company."
Nobody buys records anymore.
Mm.
Everything is digital now.
And the company owns the digital masters, huh?
I don't know. I mean, if you want to be fair about it, do some research and only buy digital recordings from artists that own their own music.
Oh, so like only buy independent artists.
Well, artists that own their own music. I mean, I'll give you an example. Bon Jovi, who's one of the smartest guys in the music business, has been with the same record label for 41 years. Bon Jovi owns all of his music,
The rights to his own music.
all the rights. Him, I mean, don't get me wrong. Him and Richie Sambora and a couple other guys that, but him and Richie Sambora were basically the two writing partners. And then whoever was in a song, they all get cut in on royalties from those songs.
See, how does one get that? Not like, did they have the lawyer come in with them when they negotiated their deal?
Absolutely.
Because I hear about so many artists who say that they had to get an advance from the record label, or they had they have to do so many albums, like not even so many albums, just a lot of albums, maybe like 10 or 13 albums before they could get their freedom from the label. It was,
Dude, did you ever hear of a starving artist?
well, yeah.
They'll sign anything. I mean, what's every kid's dream? Every kid's dream is to be a rock star, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So when you write a song that some guy or producer or somebody thinks is going to be a hit, and you've been living in the back of your Volkswagen for the last 2 years, and playing crappy nightclubs, and somebody offers you a record deal,
Yeah, for
you're signing it. You're signing it.
Yeah, and probably
And
for
unknowingly, in a lot of situations, you're signing your life away.
Wow.
Until you can break out of it. You got to get a better lawyer and break out of it.
Yeah, that's the key. You gotta have that lawyer.
Yeah, I mean, listen, as I've grown older, I've come to realize you don't sign any contract without a lawyer. Lawyers are what protect you, and they're also what kill you. But that's another story. Going back way into the 30s and 40s, and this went on back then too.
See, but like it's been going on for so long. Like
it goes on in acting too.
What did you say?
It goes on in acting too.
Yeah, well, especially in acting and all, because even with that guy, what's his name, Weinstein.
Who?
Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey. Yeah, he was a peach.
Because even when the Me Too movement happened, right? I'm sitting here like, yo, there's movies that this guy created for a whole generation of like the 90s. All my generation, we watched all those movies. And then they come to find out the actors who were acting in these movies, getting the Oscars for these roles, they're all saying, wait a minute, I did some heinous things just to get this part. And I'm like, what do you have to do? And then they say,
the casting couch.
Casting couch with Harvey Weinstein. And the casting couch has been going on forever.
Absolutely.
And like, okay, so, and this is like, for me, because that was then, the casting couch. It's probably still now, but all that was then. But all of a sudden now, people want to say, hey, we had to do this like 50, 30, or whatever years ago just to get this role. And I'm sitting here like, well, the time that you were offered that position to get that role, why didn't you just say no? Why go through?
Because they want to work.
Oh, I do understand that they want the job.
I can't see all of you.
I do understand that they want the job, but why, when it comes to the end, when everyone's exhausted all resources, why not give the Oscars back? Why not say, here, take this Oscar, I don't deserve it because I participated in doing these things to make you believe that I was, actually really acting to get this role, to make you pay that money at the movie theater to sit for 3 hours to watch me do this film.
Well, on the acting side of it, these people were abused, but they did act in those movies and acted well enough to earn those awards.
I'm pretty sure they really did have to act because they had to act like they enjoyed half the stuff they did on the couch too.
Understood. Understood. But it's, you know, it happens in business. It happens in business. I mean,
Well,
women have been targets in business forever. You've heard the expression, she slept her way to the top.
I have heard that.
And that's not always the case. Trust me when I tell you, that is not always the case.
I would like to believe that.
I do believe that. There are very strong, well educated women who get to the top on their own. And they don't need to do that. But there are situations where that does happen.
And what now because it's being exposed the way that it's being exposed. I see for myself now as like wow, this stuff does happen.
And it all falls under the category of, well, in acting and business, it's all sexual harassment, and that's what it actually in even in the entertainment business. I mean, even in the record business, sometimes it falls under that category.
Yeah.
But in the in the record business, it's just out and out thievery. I mean, let's face it. All right, let's back up a second. Let's go back to acting for a second.
Hmm.
When I was a kid, now I'm a little bit older than you. When I was a kid, you should get $1 on a Saturday. And me and my buddy, we used to walk down the center of town to the Rivoli Theater, and we used to see a double feature with a Three Stooges short in the middle
Hmm.
for $1. And the people that we saw on that screen, whether it be, John Wayne, whether it be Clint Eastwood, I mean, these people were our heroes.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times as a kid, did you play, cowboys and Indians, and you felt like you were John Wayne at the end of the movie, saving everybody, and these were our heroes. And then when you find out later in life that half of your heroes were scumbags,
Yeah.
it's a big letdown. But they're not all bad.
That's true. That is all true.
And you have to have some faith in God, and you have to have some faith in humanity,
Okay.
and do your homework the best you can. Google's a big resource.
Yeah.
You can find out which artists own their own music before you do digital downloads. That's one thing you can do. And as far as movies go, I mean, you can check who the actors and actresses are in a movie to see if there's allegations out there against them. But it this P. Diddy thing, I'm waiting for it, and I'm waiting for this. Somehow, somewhere, the Epstein bomb is going to drop on this.
I think so too. I totally
And
think.
there's going to be some connection because, son, money rules everything.
Hmm.
And we're not talking millionaires. We're not talking billionaires. We're talking like uber billionaires.
Yeah.
People that got money that we can't even fathom.
Yeah. Yup.
Okay. And Epstein Island and like Listen, I got 2 daughters. I can't fathom anybody abusing underage girls.
And the stuff that allegations that they have on these people, it's just like, whoa.
I mean, if they want to dress up in dresses and run around the island, I could care less.
Yeah, that's like when they start
You
doing.
know, that doesn't bother me at all. But this is some evil, perverted stuff that
It makes you gotta step back and evaluate a lot of things. Like you said, when you said that you could look up the people who are the actors in the movies or the TV shows that have the allegations, or you could just investigate the artists who are independent. It is probably wise to actually do those things so that you won't be contributing blindly or unknowingly to the big monster at the end of the day. Because when that person who owns that company goes back and checks their bank account and their shares, they're like, hey, well, people still buying into, what I'm promoting, and not even knowing really what you're, really buying into. That's like if the CEO of Walmart got caught doing some wild stuff. You might have to boycott Walmart, man.
nah, I don't think so. But it's, I mean, like, who believes that for some strange reason in a jail cell in New York City that the guard wasn't there, the cameras weren't working, and Jeffrey Epstein hung himself?
No,
I don't know anybody that believes that story.
I,
He was shut up for a reason.
yeah, because he had a big client list that reached way beyond entertainment.
I want to. I'm dying to see that book.
Yeah, that book when I saw the Netflix show, the episode or series they had on him and his partner, and it was just wild to think that for years, I mean years, like my whole lifetime, probably a little bit more than me, he's been just rubbing shoulders with the rich and famous of the people who make decisions in this whole entire nation and the world too.
You ever meet a celebrity?
I met a couple celebrities.
Anybody big?
Chris Rock, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No kidding.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Jamaica.
No kidding.
I was probably 15 years old. My mom, we won some tickets off a radio station to go to Jamaica. And I met Kareem Abdul-Jabbar down there. He was an asshole though, because I guess some guy, he was shocked to see him and, was trying to take his picture while he was on vacation, and like he just got mad, cussed him out, said, "Don't take no fucking picture of me." Try to like yelling at the guy. I was just like, "What?" I'm like, "Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, okay." That's my first impression I've had of you.
How'd you meet Rock?
Chris Rock. I used to live in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia area, and we were down in Georgetown, DC, one morning, and outside of Georgetown Mall, me and my friends, he was in all blue Adidas outfit, reading the newspaper, waiting for the mall to open up. And he kind of asked us like, "Hey, you guys know what time the mall open up?" Like just casually asked us, and that was that. And we just looked up and said, "Yo, that was Chris Rock." So yeah, I've seen a couple celebrities in my time, especially living in DC and like Florida and certain areas.
Sure.
But I'm not starstruck. Like I even like the president right now. I met Donald Trump as the guy from the TV show when he was saying you're fired on The Apprentice. That's how I knew of Donald Trump growing up before he became the president. So even when he became the president, I was like, hey, that's the television guy. He's the president now.
Look at you.
But celebrities, I understand some of the pain that they go through as being,
They go through a lot of pain.
but you gotta remember though, at the end of the day, when you decide to become a celebrity, you decide to become a celebrity.
Well, you have to take everything that goes along with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean with it. You gotta.
But I gotta say this. I've seen celebrities out And like you go walk into a nice restaurant, you see celebrities eating dinner with their families. I've been up to Patriot Place quite a number of times. The restaurants up there, and you'll see some sports figures sitting there having dinner with their families. And you know something? I don't bother them. You know, they're there to have dinner. They're not there to meet me. You know, if I saw them out in the hallway, I would say something.
Yeah, passing
But
by.
I don't want to bother somebody while they're having dinner, or you know, try to respect people's privacy.
Yeah.
You know, because let's face it, they have a job just like we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when they have their me time, they want their me time,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. But I'm going to tell you something, brother. You're never going to eradicate the evil mechanism from any of these businesses for as long as they survive,
Yeah.
because somebody's always going to have an angle.
That's true.
All right. And I'm going to tell you something else. Doesn't matter what the business is, doesn't matter what kind of company it is. If there's a way to steal something, people will always figure it out.
Yeah.
And that is just human nature. I'm not saying that I'm going to go to work for IBM and try to figure out how to rip them off, because that's above my pay grade. But I am saying that there are people that work for IBM who probably know how to move something from one line to another line and make it disappear.
Yeah. You
You know,
can't change that.
but I'm going to tell you this. I still have my heroes in the movie business and in the singing business. So who's your movie hero?
My movie hero, for me, I have to say probably Denzel Washington.
One of the best guys in Hollywood.
Yeah, probably Denzel Washington. Yeah, I like that. I
A
like
lot of
the.
respect, a lot of respect for Denzel Washington. If you ever listen to him speak,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's amazing. Um, I also, to throw into that mix, I'm a big Sly Stallone guy, and I'm a big Clint Eastwood guy,
Clint Eastwood, yeah, he's pretty. I like Clint Eastwood.
because the three of those guys, but Denzel clearly above the pack, clearly speaks his mind, and speaks his mind in a way that we all should live.
I agree with you on that. I agree.
How about in the music business?
The music business? In the music business, I really don't have any heroes in the music. Well, because most of my heroes are people who I usually go to listen to. Their music is like I'm a soul street guy. Anything from like the probably the 50s, 60s, 70s, maybe some of the 80s, a sprinkle of the 90s. That's me. But majority of like the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Like I put on Curtis Mayfield, The Temptations, Otis Redding. Put on all anything from that era, sock hop era, all that stuff. I love it. Jazz, classical. Like I like it when instruments were actually making music. That era.
I like
hmm
Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney, yeah, he's a good. Yeah,
Yeah, I like McCartney because I think he's genuine,
that man, good.
and he's written a ton of songs.
Yeah,
But
well,
heroes,
then and now.
you know, you still have to have heroes.
Yeah, because we need more heroes to come to dust
I,
off
I,
this.
I actually, I'll tell you what, I had one hero in my life, and that was my dad. He was the biggest hero I ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he do to leave that impression on him?
My dad was the smartest, most honest, and decent man I ever knew. And I only wish I paid more attention when I was younger. But I'm glad I paid attention as I started getting older. I miss him dearly. But he was my true hero. Didn't have to worry about anything with him. He was as honest as the day is long, and he was ruthless.
We definitely got to honor him coming up on Father's Day coming up. I gotta give my dad a call. I haven't spoke to him in a while.
Yeah, dude, make that up because as I say in closing, tomorrow is granted to no one. So when you have the opportunity, take time and stop and smell the roses. And if you have the opportunity to do a random act of kindness for somebody, take that opportunity. Because if everybody did a random act of kindness for someone, this world would be a much better place to live. So, along with Velle from Then and Now, this is Double T saying until we meet again, ciao.
Ciao.
Memories pressed between the pages of my mind. Memories sweeten through the ages just like wine. Quiet thoughts come floating down and settle softly to the ground like golden autumn leaves around my feet. I touch them and they burst apart with sweet memories. Sweet memories of holding hands and red bouquets and twilights trimmed in purple haze, laughing eyes and simple ways, quiet nights and gentle days.